Monkey got a lead into the line, rotate him through, they go for another block, Q is low, but the damage on the little will get the pass in the first block, boosts his life to 30.
My grave dancing shoes.
But a kill is a kill, VP, get something on the board, ITV, something straight back.
Ah, tengo sin cargar, tengo que cargar. Ahorita voy a bajar el cargador.
But if they wait too long, then Bad Rider's just going to get his Blink Dagger, smoke up, get a free, get a couple of easy kills. They don't have the best support to deal with the Bad Rider. Shadow Demon's like tall right, I would say. Just not the best range on that disruption to save people. As you mentioned before, who do they really gain? Top has Witch Doctor defending, and then all the lanes have Treant Protector defending. It seemed to make more sense to go on that little insurgent mission with Law, and maybe you catch the Bat Rider when he's low doing that stack, because that's exactly what July was doing. He was doing the big stacks he had inside the jungle. So it had to be pulled off to come over. So we only lose that to skeleton minions, that's all he lost because of his movement. And he still gets the experience level from killing off the Slaughter, or being involved in that.
In the bottom lane, Q spots out Lil, trying to wrap around from behind.
But the Blightstone,
This tower should fall shortly if not for the help of the living armor.
maybe actually bring in more support too to hold this T1 tower. So they bring detection. They actually cannot kill off Q. You'll always have to make this guy dive back into. So he's going to pull Ramses off the tower. Ramses, whenever he plays his life healer, loves just to rage, have a TP scroll, he needs to get back out again, but he'll rage for
Pretty decent lead over everyone else. And the middle lane Timbersaw is slightly behind the Dragon Knight.
It's going to be our first solo smoke of the game, going in July. So in July, he did spend all of his money, didn't go directly in for a Blink Dagger, as he's got those Tranquils, raindrops, plus the wind lace, the movement speed. So try and close the distance, and then pinging out. What if you want to head to the top? Or if you reach their goal, no one will be the nicer gang to have, because this will get Takasara a little bit in front. They start them, close them down, now Power is trying to squeeze up, with the other point of a mountain, the block right, and he's run back in through the fire, with a little bit more damage down, no one will definitely pop. IGV with successful smoke rotation. The other big lane, the gank is on. FD is all there. Even the top here committing that wall. Like, what are the yeah, we did see that. It's like that's a solo kind of passive build.
His max focus build with no it's kind of been the go-to for most Shadow Demons now, but it's Timbersaw job. There's no chance of speed reaction, even with living armor there is. He's not going to survive.
We're going back to the soul, however. There's no sentry ward, there's no detection again on VIRTUS.PRO. This allows you to really walk up wherever he wants to. The Burning Drag to creep way back. Down the TP to go back into mid lane. So all the chip damage you normally get from the DK, which we capitalize on in the supplement of time, but just he's going to get 3 points up and living on. Interline might be in a little bit of trouble with the open wounds on him, but Ramsey, that rage won't last long enough. With a Firefly down, he cannot pursue Interline into the trees.
And VP just don't know where to attack right now. Mid tower is still very healthy. Bottom tower was at a 30 HP, but now it's healed back up by the living armor, and they're just buying so much time. VP, this is the time where they attack all the lanes, get a couple of kills, and start to get the blink back and just keep the train rolling. But there is just nowhere for them to go.
They get it for farm. They don't want to farm. You got to get something like IGV that read VP's timing perfectly. They understand how to counter against it. Farm up a huge core. Working nicely, but 3 points up in living armor is just so damn efficient.
They just have to limit the Slaughter's timing. They don't really have a good place for the Lifestealer to infest. Like, they can't really get quick picks like they want until he gets his Blink Dagger, but he's sitting at 300 gold right now, and with no towers coming anytime soon, and with Injuly getting free farm, it might be a tough task.
IG. That's a support player right there, everybody. That's Burning.
With this set,
it's a very, very nice set. Crafted in gold. Hi, everybody. We're admiring the models. That's what it's like. We've got mood lighting down here in the theater. It's a beautiful theater as well. The atmosphere is nice to actually bring a Valve Major back into a theater environment after Ben Royal Hall.
mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful.
It's cozy.
It is. It really is. It's a lot more intimate.
Yeah, I can almost touch Grill.
Almost. They're just there. Coming into this, maybe even a little bit more if you played in the Group A.
or just change it up every game so they never know what's coming. So it's kind of like Wing's philosophy versus VP's philosophy, and VP have yet to really be tested, especially in the group stage where they just steamrolled everyone. But I would say this Treant Protector pick is causing a lot of difficulties for VP, and it's just slowing them down a lot. Even faring over a Dust or a Sentry Wars can stall precious seconds, and all these towers still alive is a big problem.
And wasn't it Lil who said during an interview over at the summit the fact like if they have to change up, like if someone does force them into a different position, like they would only have to reveal maybe 10% of their strats in order to get back on top. So we're back into the game now. So everything is smooth for the players. And we continue this battle. Where we left off, VP was trying to bring down the tier 1 tower in bottom lane. IGV are in a good position to trade, so they're now pushing the tier 1 tower with the regeneration of Burning, that little babysitting event in July, and the damage that comes in from a Luna. It's a straight tier 1 for tier 1 tower trade-off. So eventually it was going to happen, but IGV managed to stall that long enough to get themselves a good trade-off.
And bringing up the items, I see that IG Vitality have heavily committed to raindrops. They have 4 raindrops on their side right now, and only 1 on the side of VP, so they just do not want to... There hasn't been any fights, really, so it's like, do you expect to be able to farm, or do you want to actually fight a lot? And judging by this and this smoke, they are ready to get some kills.
That smoke happened right underneath the Radiant Observer Ward, so VIRTUS.PRO are very aware what IGV are doing. There was a ward that was placed down a long time ago by Solo.
Yep.
So all they wait for is the mid gank. So even if the smoke's going to fail, you want no one to reveal himself, you want someone to show themselves, because you just move around and run this with this Luna in a straight pressure, tier 1 to tier 1, and you catch out VP before they're willing to defend. The Dragon Knight form was already triggered, you do not have this. So instead it's going to have to be Lil just climbing up, but yeah, here comes VP. Coming in force, Solo, can't get disruption off, moving to the front lines to try it. As an old VP getters the amplification over on the Batrider.
They're also struggling for one of their ultimates. Shadow Demon is the only hero in this game that does not have his level 6.
Which could be not certain if IGV, with one person up the hill, they would have seen that smoke. So IGV now disappear into the trees, quite literally with the Treant Protector. And as VP, who are now going to attack, they're going to attack into IGV.
There is very little way they can push into this. And nope, Blink Daggers on either side, so daytime means very little chance of actually getting a kill, but now that nighttime has descended upon us, might be time for them to make some more when farming his jungle. They don't really have great vision at bottom side vacuum crush, but that's pretty hard to pull off in this, and the lifestealer is always going to be hindered by the Treant Protector. And of course, they have to worry about the magic damage output from the Luna and the Timbersaw before any BKBs come out.
So instead, VP just turned this into just a little bit more of a split game again. So the tier 1 tower in the top lane is being harassed down with the Dragon Knight trigger in this form. Once this kills, because this will allow no one to finish up his armor. But IGV, again, to go into it. A 1-for-1 trade, tip for tap. It'll be the tier 1 tower that IGV want in the mid.
They're doing a 3-man smoke though, and they're leaving the DK up on top, so IG Vitality may be a little bit wary.
He has the TP scroll available, so this can still be a fight. The tier 1 tower's already taken, and IGV now heading to the south.
They're pinging them out, but IG Vitality are sticking together as a ball, and both of them are just stacked behind the Luna just in case one of them gets caught out. They have a ward and drop their tracks behind. Will it pop the smoke? Yes, it will.
So Lil gets revealed. He's only just close enough to do that too.
And IG Vitality head straight back to mid. They don't want to lose a tower.
Well, they're becoming a lot more confident to fight now. Luna's just completed the Commander style, flying out with a level 2 ultimate from her. You can still get in close thanks to Nature's Guise. The detection being that close to your own tower not really possible. They know there's a sentry ward because their other one got de-warded.
It's much better for them to defend so they can heal the tower and then make a favorable trade later. This T1 tower, especially important for them because Luna,
with 4 points up in Glaive, she pushes really, really quickly. In July, searching in around the tower, so they realize that no one's there to defend. They even scanned this beforehand. No one to pick off, so this is just being a tier 1 tower. And VIRTUS.PRO, for the first time, they're not in position to get a counter tower.
Lil's getting a lot of things, though. Lil's just farming the top lane. He was sitting at 300, 400 gold maybe just a few minutes ago. Now, closing in on his Blink Dagger halfway there. IG Vitality, do they want to defend this mid tower? I don't think that they're set up in position to do so, especially with that Observer Ward behind the T1 tower. A T1 tower in the process, but Lil still kind of just away from his team, doing his own thing.
Is that team fight timing you're talking about? Just build up to it, be patient. That's all VP need to do. If you take a really bad engagement here, which is also very possible for
BKBs, and I think that's the sort of game where if you're the Slardar, you kind of want to aim for a BKB going in late, or else the Timbersaw will just destroy you every time you go inside the fight. So I also think it's important for the Slardar to stay alive so you can aim multiple people. They don't have a really good way to take it off aside from the Manta on the Luna right now. So I think Lil is a very important hero in this game.
Well, as long as he doesn't die, Lil, okay.
Fortune.
Action Fake Crush, the bounty rune.
And despite all this farming, Timbersaw is actually pretty far behind. He is number 4 in net worth and has not gotten his Bloodstone yet.
In July, tried to slip over bottom lane. The pings already came out. I think he's asking for another invis. Solo started his TP, Lil's on the run out. So it's VIRTUS.PRO understanding the movement here of IGV. They don't really have that many deep wards to find IGV's movement. They see Burning stacking thanks to the Observer Ward. That's right next to Sentry. That was what helped VP in the last fight. And the other one's sitting right in front of the tier 2 tower. So they don't see much more outside of the mid lane. The jungles are very, very dark for them.
But Luna's just been taking stack after stack after stack.
She's about to hit the 10,000 net worth. Nice little mark for her. Already with the Dragon Lance, already with the Mana Style. The range is good. The disengage confusion from Manta is also good.
I think it's about time for VP to fight, though. They have the Blink Dagger on Slardar, they have DD in No One's Bottle, and Lifestealer has his Echo Saber. Most of his items are complete, aside from perhaps a Desolator.
It's also IG's time to fight. They're getting far enough away from that Observer Ward. In fact, Burning is dewarding it at the moment. That they can do something with the Blink Dagger, which is freshly onto In July.
And I would say it's a fairly predictable smoke, though, because Batrider's not showing, and then they just deward it, and they're all grouped up around mid. So if they do it, I think VP will kind of expect it at this particular moment.
So what else do you try and attempt? Like, you just keep farming?
You can maybe make a roach play, but VP already have Observer Ward in the area, and they have eyes on Burning. So
maybe even time for a gem, then get it up on the Batrider. Risky when you still want to run a Tree and Protector.
So now they see In July. He thinks he's safe with the Nature's Guides, but Tree and Protector had died there not too long ago, and with that Observer Ward Sentry combo, Blink Dagger will be revealed.
He kind of has to know. Like with the way the fight happened previously, unless I think it just timed out, Treant's walking around with a Sentry, but he's just dropped it in the bottom part of the river, so VP smoke up. They're about to cross over with that Observer Ward. They did see a lot, but In July up on the cliffside, breaks at the blind, Blink rush, with the Eclipse actually with a Darkseer, the back wall, it may be a level village, it's a 1-to-1 straight up the death wall, it's doing its work, it's a Batrider, it's IGV coming out on top. VP forced back. The Blink Rush needs to work. In July is not done just yet. He wants past her. They need to get closer. Succotash gets in behind Solo, and with the sticky napalm, he can't even turn fast enough. Paparazzi, a double kill for him. In July, kills up past her. It's team wipe. The favorites VIRTUS.PRO just lost everything to IGV.
That was phenomenal positioning from the Batrider. He hit on the trees, he popped the smoke on the back line, and overall their positioning was just great. It's up the hill on the Ancients, and VP, they wanted to fight on the Observer Ward, but IG Vitality, they didn't make the obvious play. Like, a lot of their plays have just been not by the books. Batrider fighting way before his Blink Dagger, not even going for the Blink Dagger first, not smoking as soon as they get the Blink Dagger, and VP, they're expecting all of these things to happen, and they're getting punished when they're like, okay, I guess we should do something because things aren't playing out the way that they wanted it to. It's spiraling out of control. The graphs just plummet down. It's
Like right now, it's only a 3,500 swing for the net worth, but let's actually have a quick look at it again. So there's Lil's initiation, and Q at this point roots the entire VP lineup.
And the eclipse comes out, and everyone is just clumped up around. They're trying to get all the illusions from the wall of replica, but Timbersol is just so good at cleaning up in this sort of situation. And what great positioning by the Screen Protector. Dodging the Blink Crush, getting a 5-man root, and staying alive.
And judging by that camera view is steaming up in the IGV box, they are looking good. They just need to keep that momentum going. There's your graph plummet. VP need to stabilize, but IGV are definitely the ones in the driver's seat.
They just, I think, need probably one Force Staff, maybe a True, I guess, on top of the Bat Riders, just so they can save someone from the Blink Crush. If they can save someone from that, then they can kite the Life Stealer easily with Root, and after that, most of the damage will be gone. Because Slardar is nowhere close to a BKB, and he is just going to perish. And after that, they don't really have too much control. But Vice DK does not do that much damage. He's also forced to get a BKB because of this Timbersaw bit.
And with all of this, with no money for Monkey King Bars, Paparazzi looks even better. Just walking around with casual evasion, but once this is a butterfly, they're still in trouble. And IGV, they're knocking on the bottom door. They want to come into
our network of vision.
Well, they're just rooting on the Luna. Enough to encourage them to go in.
Yeah, but EP certainly knows up, and they certainly will not let this go through.
No, they have to fight. Fresh item of the Desolator over on the Life Stealer. They'll have that for this fight, but they send illusions down from the SD to have a look towards the pit with the Observer Ward and the Sentries down. They're right on top of each other. IGV, they're pulling out of the pit. So VP got the information that Roshan's down to 50%.
Yeah, there's not that many blind spots for IG Vitality, but that is one of them. The northwest of the Roshan pit. And they have to wait for them to walk into that Observer Ward. If they push mid T2, I wonder how IG Vitality are going to react. Might just be time for them to work on the Roshan part. Without the BD, it's not going to drop that quickly. They're really going to 5-minute spark. Yeah, he's at 50% HP, so now they're going to be scouting inside the pit with those solar illusions.
IGV's coming to fight. They're coming to fight. So it's just illusions. The body blocking of the illusions, it just pinged. It just pinged. No one knew what was happening. So then they just jump forward, looking for the end. They hit the mark. Nikolai has the ball down and jump away on low life. So the Luna and the Timbersaw will drop. Timber won't be down for long, thanks to Bloodstone charges. The Solo's positioning, nosing the illusions don't have to clear passing, allow VP just to set up properly, but they're going to go on for Roshan. He's down low with the amplification, but it's still Radiant that gets one the kill on Roshan, and two pick up the Aegis. As we have ourselves a small little pause. This is actually a huge time to pause, because that Flame Break is going to push a little onto the hill.
VP is just really smart about fighting, how they took that last engagement. If SD dies, not the worst thing in the world. It's not like he really has any items.
Will gets down just in time, so the Flame Break doesn't push anybody around.
Yeah, and Luna just got blown up so quickly. And she might need a BKB herself to deal with the vacuum wall. Her illusion is going to hurt her team a lot if she gets vacuumed into it.
Which means more time that IGV have to stall up. So the fight was good, and with Roshan, they repair all the damage of gold as well as experience. So the game starts to level up more.
Yeah, the blink from Pasha really making the big difference in that last team fight. They need Timbersaw to be... He was out in front. He got a decent amount of damage on a Shadow Demon, but then he backed up immediately after. They need him to provide the vision for the team fights. He needs to be the big bad bruiser in front. So, if you go on him, you're going to lose the fight. But if he retreats, then Luna's left vulnerable to these blink initiations from VP.
Which is why Luna, even if you do have a BKB, you may not get it off in time. Satanic may be the other.
Far back is scared of immediately dying.
There goes the tier 2 tower.
Maybe once he gets his plate mail, that's somewhere he can play more aggressively. But he's just very, very scared.
So that's the downside right back going for this Yule set to build. You can't just get that straight Shivas, but you can still PMS and you can pick up that plate mail now.
Yeah, he's probably wants some way to get rid of the amplified damage. But as long as he doesn't die to the initial burst, he should be fine once he builds up some stacks. And Gem has been picked up by in July. And we'll take this time to get rid of some of the VP vision. They have 3 observer wards around the middle. Again, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get them all.
Kind of like a risky situation, right? You know the Slaughter could be there ready to blink on you. And they don't have vision of Lil at the moment. In fact, now with the Chakrams from Sakata, they will.
So that's 2 observer wards down. 2 more, a little bit away from the Roshan pit.
They didn't find the sentry. It's a little bit more covered up. Normally that wouldn't be as important, but the fact you're running a train protector and they're trying to make the most out of that invis time. But now he's going to see it with the Firefly.
I'm not sure if he saw the one that Lil is standing on top of right now.
They pinged it. He got just close enough for it. But it's, again, like, it's the wrong side of the river that IGV just cannot move to unless they go in force.
And Luna, looks like signs of a BKB are coming out. Ogre Club in the stash.
Alright, so she'll go for the immunity. Fantastic thing during the fight. Already got ways to get rid of the amplification. Now, there's no extra stuns. Won't fear that Dark Seer initiation as much either.
Even more than that, there's like the disruption on her. Her illusions do a lot of damage. You don't really want to give SD free damage, although I guess it's a bit of Manta illusion. Yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. But the Breathe Fire also limits a lot of the damage because she has so much agility at the moment.
Sim is pushing in the mid, so they will get to claim this tier 2 tower, IGV. There's no reason to slow this down. Like, may fortify so they can push in through the top lane and try and get a tier 2 tower of their own, but IGV are not committing to the push. They're moving back again, looking to farm, and looks like they just don't want to fight until Luna has that BKB. Or Wildlife, whoever he is.
Losing the gem right now would be very costly and set them back a good amount of time.
Sure, and they only have to wait 50 seconds, and then that Aegis is gone.
Yeah, Lifestealer does not have that much in his defense. He's going very heavy on the damage. Just really the armlet from the armor from the armlet to help him survive.
Like going Yasha as opposed to something else, like Basher, or maybe more defensive for his team with the AC.
He might be going Manta. It's a common pickup on strength heroes to deal with the root from the train protector. You don't want to have to use your infest, and you can't wait for a rage, or else you might just get lassoed without your rage up and just die. So this way he can be more self-sufficient, and he can't rely on the Shadow Demon in this game because Shadow Demon is still very poor, but he is going for the Scepter. Great way to deal with the Luna in the late game. She might have to get a Hurricane fight to not get kited into fights later on.
Well, Aegis is now being reclaimed. It's a long Roshan spawn timer, so 2.5 out of 3 potential minutes that both these teams will have to wait. The BKB over on Luna. IGV is in a decent position to try and look for an engagement if they wish.
They need more on the supports of IG Vitality. The Treant Protector is just bare bones in his Arcane, plus
they're literally,
support items.
Literally the same items right now.
Yeah, Witchhunter Scepter is also something that you probably want to aim for in the late game. Similar to how the Shadow Demon is that versus this many melee heroes, it would do a lot of damage.
Well, instead they seem to be very much focusing on the Yule Scepter build. Yeah. Unless that's going to be...
He's going for a force.
It'll be a force stop, so it's just the movement speed with the lace.
Great at kiting the DK. I guess the Lotus would actually be pretty useful. I don't know who would farm it. I guess the Timber Song, but he definitely needs the armor from the Shivas first before he can think about a Lotus. And Shadow Demon plays some wards in mid.
Well, the Luna is the only one close enough to it at the moment. The rest of IGV are being put into nature's guise.
Yeah, they don't really have too much protection on the Radiant side either. They could easily get caught out by a Bat Rider who's under nature's guise. But I like the way they move. They're like constantly seeking to get better position. Like if IG Vitality come to them, IG Vitality are going to lose the team fight because they'll be able to either kite the Luna while she's BKB'd or cover before her BKB is activated. And the only time that they've lost a big fight, really the only fight that one of the only 2 fights that they've taken was on IG's terms up onto their secret shop. But now this is a little bit of a compromising position. They're on flat ground. They don't have vision behind the tower, so this could be a maneuver for Bat Riders to Firefly through the top side, which they're actually maybe kind of expecting with Lifestealer's position.
Here we go. The line jumping around the back. Firefly vision. These points for the jump forward. He takes the real DK. Someone drives in with the aggressive. The Eclipse still doing work, but will it be enough? The BKB Luna now wears up. Randy, one more hit will do it. Burns looks the body block. The Force outside the crash is not going to do enough. But maybe with the losing spin, trapped inside the base. They're just chasing him in
Luciano, le ganó,
down to just a few heroes with VP.
Oh, pero mira, 9-7, yo pensé que había ganado 15. Y 31 minutos.
And out to the bottom of the base, so rejoin the rest of the teammates in a bit. The VIRTUS.PRO making the most of time they've got. Bring down tier 3 tower. Now into the melee rank as well. I think they just don't have the defense against it. Wow, no one was so close to dying at the beginning of the fight, which would have been a completely different story. And again, they get a huge vacuum crush wall. DP's ability to fight. Also the patience, like you're seeing a very different game style. Paul was mentioning the fact that we've had a couple of CIS teams, Team Empire and VP, and all the ones which go high up on the list of struggling at the Valve major events, but they're showing their depth, not just in their draft, because there's obviously not depth in their draft with what they've got here, then their play style. They're happy to go hyper-aggressive. They can play the very stalled trade-off style of gameplay.
And they also have a lot of confidence plays. Before that, it was pretty much...
El otro no tiene nada, Versa no tiene nada este huevo, güey.
T2 tower against a Batrider, and they were confident that they'd be able to get the PKBs up and not die, and to pull up their teamfight combos. And now Darkseer is probably priority number 1, at least stopping his blink echo so he doesn't get a great initiation.
That's not difficult to do unless in July. Well, he could have matched up on Nova. But at the same time, if that works, you get Nova with his BKB down, the Eclipse, onto a Dragon Knight, and they almost killed him with the Lord.
Mira tu perro. Está sangrando la oreja, yo no sé,
Yeah, it was really
Está sangrando la oreja.
Sí. Gone back for that.
Yeah, the blink tag to pick up
Mira. Teamfight.
Restart this game for SD next play the instant counter to a background. They're supposed to a small top side of the map, so this could be potentially a good opportunity for ID by being working out. Because let's go into Roshan, which I may think is alive, but it's another 40 seconds or ish until Roshan is up and running, and they'll find a traitor in their midst, aka the guy catapult which accidentally solo attack breaking his smoke. So it's ITV who currently, I almost want to say smart, but they're just 80 guys playing around that tier 2 tower.
And they're pinging on the C3, and Paparazzi does not have a TP skill. Maybe he can exchange with one of the swords, but it could take some damage. There is an effect bomb waiting perhaps to be exploded on. They can't find the Luna is just entering the base. The DP didn't force the issue until now. They're going to be the one man in the front line. And once again, DP looks for that background initiation. No one slows, not touch the chopper. As Luna walks the rest of the way. But all this get down there doesn't mean that much if ITV can hold, but you can still get the living armor. So it's not a kill push here from VIRTUS.PRO. They'll back up. Remember, they were still waiting for Roshan. Roshan's alone, but because they can kill the catapult, ITV also have this information. And now the play will die. They finally seen the light fuel pop out. But this is not good business for them. They have one, doesn't work D-ward. They still have another one, but they catch sight of any of ID by diving.
So ID's looking back into Roshan. That Israelite goes just far after the fly. Now with this flight, he will actually see the upward. So VP are getting a very balanced map. Two wards that are unable to go through full duration. In fact, if you look at the map at the moment, all they've got is the illusions. This turns into 5-man go just because of this.
And who's going to get the jump on whom?
At this point, no. Keep backing out. And the base to start with and stay as close as you can to Roshan.
You can't leave that long though.
Ustedes tendrán contar más armadazo,
No way to scout inside the illusions, and they have to dive observer on the hillside.
Now, there's no flying vision in that area. So no one does actually have a gem. Yeah, another traitor. There's plenty more where that came from.
And I see no smokes in either team's inventory.
VP can wait. Look at top lane. IGZ has to go back to defend this. Unless they want to lose tier 4 towers. the BTs really need to come on that Timbersaw. So he can be that defense, but instead we've got an in July BKB flying out the turret at the moment. So the Bad Wag's got a little bit more. There's still some deep creep inside. They see all four of these heroes. Actually, a double top of three. It could be a good time. He is close enough that his overthrow will also be effective from outside that pit.
He also needs to cut over here. He was pushing out the lanes as you had mentioned.
They need something. Bottom lane pushing in too far. The top lane continues to pressure, and VP will back out every single time there's no one from IGV defending the top lane.
They're very vigilant about constantly having something close to or inside the pit, in between the Manta illusions and the HOD, knowing that any 10-second window could be VP's chance to take down that prized Roshan. But seeing how low it is tempting to win the game inside himself. And VP's also doing the same thing, constantly sending a barrage of illusions throughout the lanes and around the pit.
This time they're infested. VP still have not seen that observer ward up on the hillside. This is doing so much work for IGV. They know where VP is moving. They can reach this before.
¡Oh, por Dios! ¿Quién muere primero? ¿Quién muere primero? ¡Oh, murió Luna! ¡Por Dios! ¡No! ¡Por Dios! ¡Doctor! ¡Típico del Doctor! ¡Ah! ¡Queda Raider! Lo único que le queda es subir, pues. No le queda otra. ¡Corre! Lo taparon. Doble. Camino libre para Roshan, camino libre para VP. Gracias para VP. Se dijeron. Me voy a venir ya que es necesario porque pudo haber esperado, pero no lo hizo. Entrada innecesaria.
A bit of a break, the illusion block, and then the SD in the right position. So Solar, he made it just work so perfectly. Illusion momentum, and VIRTUS.PRO, they dodged a bullet. And they were definitely staring down the barrel a lot closer than a lot of people would have thought. In fact, you saw the predictions come out beforehand. It was 100% going the way of VIRTUS.PRO on some of them. And you have to always understand that every team has a chance in the game of Dota.
Their team fight prowess is unrivaled, I would say, by any team in this tournament. And this game showed exactly why.
Yep, but IGV, you got to give them props as well. Real solid strat. Very, very patient. VIRTUS.PRO showed the same kind of thing too. And, well, if IGV can show that, if they can also get a really strong draft into game number 2, we could actually have a third game. We could have a series. Of course, the analysts, is that possible?
That is the question, Toby, isn't it? Yes, indeed. I'm really not so sure if our analysts agree with me, but I have to say, I think everyone loved seeing what IG could do in that first game, right? You guys were sitting there, I feel like there was a surprise in your voice, Toby, when you were casting IG.
Well, yeah, I didn't think anybody could actually keep VP at bay, and IGV did it really, really well. I saw the Witch Doctor and String Protection, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be a really passive landing phase.